Is Edge bringing back an old gimmick for his WWE return?
Is SummerSlam going TV 14 this year?
We have an update on the NXT Women's Tag Team titles.
And Seth Rollins apologises to fans for being, quote, harsh and abrupt. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the After News.
Yes, hi. Let's kick things off by talking about Edge.
If you're wondering why we're not talking about anything that happened last night on Fyter Fest, there's AEW news from earlier on today.
Check that out. It's already up there.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And professional. That's the most important thing.
Lots of slug stuff, weirdly. But yes, Edge, is he bringing back a new gimmick? An old gimmick for when he returns to WWE? He's been off TV for a while. Got his ass kicked by the Judgment Day. Got booted out of that group. Finn Balor said, I'm the captain now, Edge.
Yeah.
Took it over. He's been sidelined since then to sell it. We've had the spooky videos, which are leading to his return.
Is it The Fiend?
Yeah.
I like to have that. Apple was telling me the other day that, you know, he writes, I'm coming to, and he presumably he's going to say MSG or whatever. I think he's going to come back next week, for example, or SummerSlam. Some people misread it as I'm coming to, like there's an extra person. Really, how was people so bad at grammar?
Some people don't know the difference between 2 of 1 and 2 of 2.
2 and 2. Come on, guys.
But yeah, Madison Square Garden has been reported as a potential return date by Fightful Select. WWE had planned that, but it's not set in stone. Either way, Brian Alvarez, Brian Alvarez, it's not that hard a name to say. We say it all the time. I'm just a mush-mouthed
I'm going to say
idiot.
friend of the channel. I hope he is. I'm a huge fan of his.
Simon Miller's interviewed him before. We love Brian. I love his voice. He's got a great voice for just moaning about wrestling.
Yeah.
Brian Alvarez, doesn't he? Tremendous.
Frittered away.
Tell him what happened, Dave. Sorry, Brian. Not that you're watching. He reported or spoke about it on Wrestling Observer Live yesterday, saying that WWE has put together a bunch of Rated R Superstar merch, which suggests perhaps that maybe he'll be reprising that gimmick when he returns. So there you go. It's his most successful gimmick, most iconic gimmick.
To be honest, I saw this headline and I panicked because, I loved the Brood entrance, but I don't need any more Brood stuff aside from Gangrel. I don't need any more Brood stuff from Edge. And then it was like Rated R. I was like, yeah, that's unquestionably the best version of him. There's stuff now that's, when you look back on, has not aged well. So I don't need any of that stuff.
Yep.
But especially with the rumours, which I'm going to talk about as well, about TV going TV 14, this could really work for him. And I'm just really glad it's not supernatural bollocks, to be honest.
Yeah, it would work a bit better for me as well. Something different, something a bit more exciting, something that allows him to be a bit more outlandish, I think is good. A lot of people were. I wasn't personally into like the whole gritty veteran stuff. I don't know, he just didn't seem to click in that role.
I didn't like his big vein that stuck out on his forehead.
Those promos. We better move on because I'm going to offend people by saying I don't like.
He's going to come back and he's going to be Rated R and he's going to do some effing and jeffing, which could be the case at SummerSlam.
Oh, swearing!
Andrew Zarian got everyone very excited on the internet.
Andrew Zarian got very excited.
He's a consummate pro, Andrew Zarian.
Great eyebrows as well, Andrew. Tremendous. Like mine are out of control. Like 2 caterpillars on my brow. What's your secret, Andrew? Let me know.
Exactly. Well, he tweeted about...
I'm not being facetious. Genuinely tremendous
great eyebrows.
Eddie Kingston as well. Who's got the best eyebrows in wrestling?
Chris Van Vliet. Chris Van Vliet's got the best everything in wrestling.
He really does. He's very handsome.
Oh, what an absolute piece! Love you, Chris. Anyway, Andrew Zarian tweeted yesterday and got the internet very excited about the potential of SummerSlam going TV 14 in alignment with potentially TV going that way, as people were talking about recently. Apparently, Peacock changed the rating on SummerSlam 2022 to TV 14. But then, unfortunately, it was immediately changed back to TV PG, which... makes a bit of sense. I can understand why people might think with the last man standing match, oh my God, they're going to swear loads and bust each other wide open. But I think if WWE is going to go to TV 14, it's not going to be an overnight thing. What do you reckon?
No, yeah, I agree. I think that when Andrew, he came through with the report about the memo that had been circulated around USA Network, and I think he got a bunch of undue... bollocks in return from people when it came out that it was circulated too early and it wouldn't be changing immediately. people overreact to these things
Yeah.
all the time, and I think he got a lot of unfair criticism for the way that was handled, because he's gone back and he's acknowledged these other things.
Is it his fault that it was circulated too early?
Exactly, and this guy's got a good track record
Yeah.
when it comes to this stuff. So be nicer to people online is usually a good bit of advice. But yeah, I think, probably a complicated process. There's good and bad to going TV-14 and leaving PG behind, and I'm sure that this has been something that's been debated for many a year. So
Also, whisper it. TV-14 isn't just going to magically fix everything, WWE guys. People seem to think oh, cool, if they can swear and bust each other open, it'll be fine.
Yeah, you're not getting the
There's
attitude
a deeper
era.
than that, guys.
Yeah, you're not getting the attitude era back.
Becky Lynch did a choo-choo train promo this week.
Yeah.
And that's Becky Lynch.
Exactly. Right, who's back? Big return to WWE yesterday. Huge return. One of the most decorated wrestlers of all time. Somebody I didn't think we were going to see back in the company for a while. But they are back, my friends. Vacant is back on the scene, crispy and clean. Obviously one of the most decorated champions in this company's
Hell of a record.
history. Hell of a title resume. Should be in the Hall of Fame, but they reappeared yesterday.
Big in WCW as well.
They are.
Made the leap brilliantly.
Just not many people can make the leap. The eel can
One of
make
the few
leap.
people Vince put over from WCW.
Absolutely. Oh, what am I talking about? Right, yeah. The NXT Women's Tag Team Championships, they've been in question. Cora Jade turned on Roxanne Perez last week. They had been champions for 10 days at the time that happened. This week, Cora Jade put the belt in the bin, as AJ Styles might say. She said the belt was a lie. We can probably now take that as Cora vacating the title, but only her half of it, because now if you go on WWE.com, you look at the belts, Roxanne is still listed as a champion, but beside her is vacant. So that to me suggests that maybe they're going to keep the belts going with a different partner for Roxanne. We'll see how that pans out, but just a little update, not a whole lot to read into. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I was quite surprised by this.
TV just made noise. Don't fall off. If that fell off the wall.
I was quite surprised by this, right? Because I thought Cora Jade's promo was surprisingly good to be incredibly patronising. I thought it was really good.
Yeah, didn't she do
Did
well?
she do well? No, she did really well, I thought.
She did. It was
And because, as I said yesterday, you need an element of, I kind of can see where you're coming from here when she talks about the fact that they just won the tag titles and Roxanne Perez was already setting her sights on challenging for the world title. She chucks it in the bin. We agree in it not actually being that much of a slight on Sasha and Naomi because they'd be more blatant.
It's
with
a
that.
bit of a reach, I think, yeah.
But I genuinely thought we were gonna find out next week. You're gonna have women's tag team champions, Roxanne Perez and the Bin Monster. But apparently Vacant's holding it.
Scoop. I've heard from my sources.
Hello.
Roxanne Perez is getting a new tag team partner.
Who's that?
The NXT Women's Tag Team Champion co-holder. It's the Eel.
Yeah, that's right. It's the Eel.
The Eel. Yeah.
Look how happy it looks now. as well.
Look at that, man. They're so
It's just a silhouette.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? We get paid to make these videos.
We should, you know what we should do, Andy? We should apologise, just like Seth Rollins did.
Hey!
he-
Sorry, Eel.
Sorry. He apologised for being, quote, harsh and abrupt in an interaction with some fans during a workout whilst him and his wife, Becky Lynch, were working out yesterday. He posted, I'm just going to read the whole comment, on his Black and Brave Wrestling Academy's Instagram page. He writes, hello, fine folks. Oh, Keith Lee wrote it for him. I love interacting with my fans. You guys are the best. Your continued support of me and the Black and Brave Wrestling enterprise is what keeps our collective heart beating strong. Today, a couple of young cats saw my wife and me training in the back of the brick and mortar and stopped to say hello. Unfortunately, I was right in the middle of a long workout. I was very harsh and abrupt in my candor, and for that I apologise. There is no excuse for that. If either of you folks who are short with today are reading this, please come back another time. I'd love to apologise in person. That open invite is all inclusive too. Feel free to pop by the school. If I happen to be here, please just be conscious of what's going on around you. Don't be deterred if I'm taking a class or deep in the sweat game. I love that as a turn of phrase. It may take a few extra minutes, but I promise I'm down to take a pic or have a quick chat. In closing, thank you again to all of you who've had our backs over the years. Here's to many more. Our door is always open during business hours, so come on by. What a lovely gesture I think this is by Seth Rollins. Because to a certain extent, I kind of get wrestlers being a little bit short with people because they must get bothered just all the time. And I'm not saying that, well, you take your life into your hands when you go and approach a wrestler because, yeah, some of these are idols, especially to children. But, like you say, if they're in the middle of a bloody workout, maybe just wait till after they finish clanging and banging.
Yeah, this is an argument I always see both sides on. Every single time. I think this is it's a really nice thing of Seth to go, oh, look, I acted out of turn, I'm sorry. Come in. We'll hug it out or whatever. We'll have a face-to-face apology. That's good for him. Like I like to read things like this.
Yeah.
Somebody going, oh yeah, I feel like I was in the wrong there. Let me make good for that. That's nice. But yeah, no, I do get it. Like if you're at an airport and you're really tired and you feel like maybe people are following you around or whatever, or you're having a meal with your partner, or you're working out. Yeah, these people are on television every single week, and yes, technically they do absolutely owe their living to the people who enable it, which is the fans. So see that side of it 100%, and it's I'm sure very flattering when someone goes, hey, I'm a big fan, thank you so much for what you do, I love you, blah blah blah. And at the same time, they're human beings who have privacy, and you do need to respect that to a degree. There's a balance to this. I think both sides of this conversation are very valid indeed, and this sounds like it's been resolved in an amicable way. So
exactly,
that's
and a really nice gesture, rather than just saying I'm sorry. Saying, you know what, come by, we'll talk this out, and we'll get a photo properly. I was just in a mood, and I think that's fair enough, to be honest. It reminded me there, you were talking when Punk went on Cabana's podcast, and someone tweeted at him, I bought your house.
Oh my god.
Ah, you're a dumbass. Perfect example of this, right? We are lucky enough sometimes to go backstage at shows, or we were there at like Wale Mania. And when we go up to wrestlers to interview them, not just get a photo, to pester them for 10 minutes with me shouting phrases at them or whatever it may be, we always go up to them and say, hello, Mrs. Eel, sorry, can we have an interview? If they say no, whether it's I'm not allowed or I'd just rather not, we don't go, screw that guy.
Yeah.
We just go, well, I guess they're just having
busy.
a nice time. Or like, if we walk past them in the street, it'd be the same thing. Just be considerate, please.
Yes.
Because they don't owe you everything.
Yes.
They owe you for supporting them, but they don't owe you a photo. But yeah, Seth Rollins didn't need to do this. He could have just gone, yeah, I was a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yeah.
Who cares?
He could have been a bastard about it.
Good example to set there, Seth, in terms of fixing things, and what a lovely gesture.
Yeah, and I think like there are lots of different wrestlers who have lots of different approaches. Some will be like super accommodating in every single situation. Others, like Brock Lesnar, will just go and live in their hunting lodge and never see the light of day. So hey, look, these people live like really grueling lives.
I once asked Simon Miller for a photo when he was in the office, and he ate my phone. So people have their own reactions. He's not as nice as you think he is. He's lovely. He's literally the nicest person in the world.
He eats humans and their phones. So.
Eats humans in one.
Well, your phone was a human. So.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know.
An Android, maybe.
Yeah, well, there you are. An apple. You can eat an apple, no problem. Piece of cake.
These news videos have been really fun today.
There's something else this
I don't think they're going to let us back to the room tomorrow. But if they do, send us your wacky and wild Twitter questions. Not wrestling related, just anything. Eel related, if anything, at WhatCulture WWE. Andy, where can people find you on Twitter?
At Andy H. Murray. The H stands for alligators.
It does. You can follow me on Twitter at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. Like, share, subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcast from for a Dynamite review, and Michael Sidgwick just going all in on that barbed wire match. But
he's
still,
probably going to swear.
Yep, probably. But for now, this has been the After News. Check out the morning news if you want to know the AEW stuff we talked about. My thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.